Today, I'm going to be speaking about lucid dreaming, flow state Jedis, as well as nightmares, how you can use your lucid dream to overcome a nightmare, okay? A lot of us struggle with nightmares. I'm a positive psychologist, so this is just coming from my own perspective, my own experiences. I used to lucid dream quite a lot when I was in college. And I used to, first of all, experiment with a bunch of herbs and things like that, you know, monk's words, I remember choline, a bunch of other supplementations and things like this. Also sounds, certain binaural frequencies and sounds that I listen to. I'd type into YouTube lucid dreaming inducer, and I'd listen to it and try to, you know, get into a dream or be more conscious within the dream when I sleep. Also listening to subliminals related to lucid dreaming also would primarily help. I believe that it would help you to entrain that quality, okay? Now, the thing we got to understand about nightmares or dreams is that it's our repressed emotions and different stress or tension that's coming out within the dream itself, right? And so there's a kind of like a dream imagery that takes over based on the stuff that's stuffed into our subconscious, right? And so if you see like a giant fly in your dream, I'm just seeing a fly over here sitting on the seat next to me, and that might tell you some symbolism, some representation, some metaphor that's coming within you in the subconscious. So sometimes you can have images that are being portrayed or projected into the dream that are basically you or different aspects of you that you're seeing. Or it could also be dream characters, and we don't know enough about this because there's not enough data and science on dreaming that we can actually say what this is. But even Carl Jung has experienced seeing a dream character that's completely separate to himself in the dream, named Philemon. And then some other writer or author named Philemon, who had no idea of Carl Jung, also had this same experience of this dream character named Philemon showing up in the dream. So there are these aspects, or this anecdotal, you know, evidence of these characters showing up in a dream or guides showing up to your dream. I love calling forth my guides in my dreams, and through my waking reality, I'll call my guides and I'll tell them to show up in my dreams. I'll actually speak to them and tell them that, yo, I want you to show up to my dream tonight, okay? Now, of course, it's good to do a ritual or an intention before you dream. Like, let's say you want to swim. Let's say you want to swim. Let's say that you want to swim in the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean. You write that down, okay? You write that down, you draw it. I like to draw it because, again, it's another aspect of, instead of writing, you get the image of it. If you have the image of it. If you're not a good drawer, just leave that part out, that's fine. In that piece of paper, put it underneath your pillow and set the intention there. And light a candle, do some kind of ritual, right? Take a shower, light a candle, do some chanting of that specific mantra. I will dream that I'm going to swim in the Pacific Ocean. I'm going to dream that I'm going to swim in the Pacific Ocean. I will dream tonight that I will swim in the Pacific Ocean. I'll dream tonight that I'm going to swim in the Pacific Ocean, okay? Whatever you want to experience within that dream, you want to state it, and you'll get into this hypnagogic state, okay? Right before you sleep, you'll see a little bit of like the eye floaties, little lights coming in, shining, some kind of like flickering like a TV screen. If you're overthinking, right? If you have a lot of thoughts in your mind that are ongoing thoughts, right? That have no end to them. They're like a ellipses, a dot, dot, dot that keeps going, coming, going and going and going and going. There's no stop to them. It's a semicolon. There's no stop to it. It's a continuous stream, right? You need to put a full stop on those thoughts. You need to make sense of those thoughts and add a specific full stop so you don't keep rambling in your own head before you're trying to lucid dream or sleep. So the best way to do this is to create some level of detachment or a distancing from the dream itself, almost like having the mindset like you're watching a really good movie, right? Where you feel this kind of suspension of disbelief, like the sense of like, okay, I'm gonna now experience this thing as a screen or like a projector in my mind. where I'm experiencing it much more readily like that, rather than, you know, me trying to infiltrate this thing, or like change this thing, which is, of course, it is a natural process, right? Dreaming is quite a natural thing that we do, but oftentimes it becomes like really fragmented, and we don't remember all of the things that show up in our dreams either. So that's why it's so important for you to also keep like a dream journal if you have it, right? And if you have a dream journal, you can just write down what you remember from the dream, right? This will actually get you to piece together and connect the dots later on. Let's say symbolically a camera shows up and it represents something. You can always go to dreammoods.com. Okay, I used to use this. It used to actually, oh wow, there's two cats over there that are like two guardians. Like, let me go show you guys, wait. So dreammoods.com, right? This is funny. Hold on. Yeah, what's cracking, guys? Okay, that one just dipped. You're more of the braver one, I'm guessing, but you also are gonna dip. Okay, that's cool. I'll just take over your spot then. So, dreammoods.com actually used to that one's just like, he's like considering it. He's like, oh man, you know, can't believe you stole my spot. What a dick, right? Anyway, dreammoods.com, right? You used to have it where you can write down the dream, like camera, and it would give you like the description or the definition. Right now, you have to kind of go at it alphabetically. So you have to go A, B, you have to click C at the bottom, and then scroll down to CA. It's like, you know, it's a whole ordeal. But hey, it's better than not knowing what the dream is, right? And being confused in your waking reality, like, why the hell was I being chased by a giant chicken or something like that, right? And you have no idea what's going on, right? So at the level of nightmares, right, it's not like, you know, let's say Mike Myers is coming at you with a chainsaw, or like, you know, you're like, I don't know, like some kids are coming out of a dark well, or you know, you're naked in the front of the school or something embarrassing, right? Oftentimes these dreams are embarrassing, like you losing all your teeth, or, you know, falling from the sky, or, you know, floating around in nothingness. Usually it's something like this, right? And sometimes it can be very terrifying in terms of if you don't really know what's going on. And it's weird because we watch horror movies, right, to get that same thrill that we get from nightmares, which is interesting because I think it's an unconscious part of us that wants to be in fear, that wants to stay in that sympathetic state of just, you know, being terrified and that sleep paralysis, you know, even like not being able to move your body, or sometimes REM atonia it's called, right? So REM atonia is like the idea where your body kind of shuts down because it feels like it's dreaming. It's very different from sleep paralysis in a sense, where your body can't move. But yeah, there's lots of nuances to this thing, right? Like when you're in a dream realm and you're experiencing all of these things, it's quite difficult for you to think of, like, you know, turning the light on and off, or like I do that. Obviously I've trained myself to do that. Like I look at my hands or my fingers to see, okay, my rings are in the right position usually. Okay, as you guys know, my ring that spins, it fell off during the Bali trip because I felt like I didn't need it anymore. It's almost like I graduated away from it, so I got lost in the Balinese Ocean or something. So you're gonna have symbolic like reminders, like, you know, in the movie Inception, they have that top that spins, right? And that just keeps grrr, and you don't know if it's not stopping to spin, you know you're in the dream, right? At the end of the movie, they leave us in suspense, like, oh my God, is it going to stop or not, right? So essentially, what you want to be doing when it comes down to nightmares is face them head on. I know this is scary to think about, right? Like a giant rhino is running at you. You go, wait a second, I'm going to run right into it, right? First of all, you have to make sense that you are in a dream, in fact, in a dream, okay? How do you do that? Well, you do these mechanisms that you normally do in your day-to-day, and you notice whether there's any difference. Sometimes words appear very difficult to read in dreams sometimes, though you will see little fragments of words here and there in books, but it'll be very, very blurry in general. So the blurriness sometimes gives me an indicator that, yes, I'm dreaming, okay? Also, if you're in a withdrawal of a substance of some sort, sometimes you'll get dreams. Also, if you are experiencing a lot of, let's just say, spiritual experiences or gnosis of some sort, you might also experience dreams. I was just checking to see if it was a UFO and not just a, airplane. The Vega star system sometimes checks in on me, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, as you're going through this dream, right, as you're experiencing this dream, you want to run into whatever you're running from, okay? You go face your fears is what I'm advising you to do. So let's say that a person who's, like, I once had this dream, right? This dude was completely made out of water, a representation of water. And I work with water magic, and water is a big theme in my life. I have a love and hate thing with water. Water is also Bruce Lee's philosophy. There's so many fragments of my subconscious that are associated with water. So as I saw this weird giant water being, right, coming at me, almost like Hydro from Spider-Man or something, right, coming at me, I didn't run. I just kind of went into that being and invaded their personal space and just went, hey, what's up, man? And I kind of gave my hand and I shook the hand, and my hand went through the hand of the being with the water. But the water felt very comforting and warm. And what they told me is, don't let go of your flow, right? And then it just left. And I was just like, okay, this is very trippy, very weird. It seems like a seemingly psychedelic drug experience or something like that. But that dream was very cool because it reminded me that if I'm ready to face the thing that I'm running from, it's actually going to run the other way. Like, it's going to dispel itself. The key here in nightmares is to really fine-tune your emotions. So nightmares are meant to make you scared. What if instead of getting scared, you added more love and compassion to the thing that you're running from? What is it going to do then? You get what I'm saying? Like, what is that creature actually going to do if you start applying this embrace or hugging it or like merging with it or running into it? How is it going to respond to that, right? It's this, because your subconscious doesn't even know how to respond to that. You see what I'm saying? So of course, in the dream itself, or the nightmare in this case, it doesn't know how, it does not compute, right? It's going to be like a robot who has this pattern interrupt in its algorithm, right? A missing code. And it's going to try to put its, the character is going to glitch and fizzle itself out, right? So once you can get more lucid within your dream experiences and your nightmares, you can actually control the whole scenario of the dream after a point. At first, you'll be like, oh, I can't really control anything. There's a bit of a distance from the dream itself and what I'm controlling. But then there's levels to this thing, right? After you start training, it'll just get to the point where you can naturally step into that fourth state or fourth level of dream where you're fully in it. And I also got to warn you that you don't get into a God complex. You got to humble down a little bit, because when you're lucid dreaming, it does feel like you're a god. You're inventing your own worlds. You're traveling from different planet to planet. You're doing things which make you actually feel like you're unstoppable and that you are in control. You're in the driver's seat of this entire experience. So make sure that it doesn't delude you from actually understanding that this was a lucid dream and this is my own echo chamber of experience. So it is, I am God in my own mind. I'm not actually God in my waking reality, right? So these are just some of my advice in terms of this. Of course, there's a lot of things that you can do to amplify this, but I'm not just going to give that advice to anybody. Obviously, join our pathworking, Primal Sutra, okay, primalsutra.com, where we will give you guidance towards your spirituality, so you'll be able to handle it much more readily, okay? I know we are very male-centric, and we're focused around helping men and wounded warriors who need to become tough men, but at the same time remain spiritual and on code. So that's what we're helping men with, to merge their dark masculine with their light masculine and be the greatest versions of themselves. But women, I've noticed, are also responding well to these teachings. So we're not opposed to women also joining the pathworking, because I feel that if we are to work with women, we will have to focus primarily more so on the feminine archetypes and, what are the ways that we can attune this path working to make it so that your yin energy will override the yang, in a sense, to make you more harmonious within your life, right? So you're not like this ball busting masculine woman, but rather you're actually in touch with your own feminine nature and your feminine gifts, right? You're not like trying to be a specific way, or I'm an independent woman and I can do it all by myself and I can, that's fine. I mean, that if that's the way that you want to go, that's okay. But oftentimes society will try to make you that, and that's what sucks, right? It's like society forms people to be made into a very specific construct. So you got to ask yourself, who does society want me to be, and who do I really want to be, right? And the second one is going to bring you a lot more gravitational pull, right? A lot more impact and resilience and confidence throughout that process, where you're deciding that yes, I do want to be in my feminine and I want my man or partner to be in my masculine, lead this relationship somewhere where this dynamic is changing and it's being supported and it's growing all the time, right? So anyway, that's a different topic at hand. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you. Stay legendary. Hit me up if you need any help with tapping into the zone. You already know. Check out this shirt, by the way. Okay, Love is Earth, which is an acronym of lie. Okay, which is I love paradoxes, man. Doge Cat, okay, over there, making an entrance. Doge Cat. I don't know why I said Doge Cat. That's another paradox, right? Dog and a cat together. Anyway, cat dog. I don't know if you guys remember that cartoon. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it. Let's crush today. Let's fucking go. Upward Spiral Gang.